Hey everybody, how are you doing? Good to see you. Lots of people here in the chat. Good to see. Happy Friday. It's Friday morning. Friday morning for me here in Vancouver. Hello, hello, hello. Lots of stuff happening there. 10:30 in India. Zainab is here. Hi. Lots of people here. Nandish, Rosa, both Rosas, Casiero, Rosa's here. Aaron, French Leo, Steve Lynn, all of the usuals. Looks like we've got some new people in there too, or some people who have been here before as well. Yumna's here. Krishanu. Aziz, I think. Is it Aziz? I mean, it's written in the in like the Russian alphabet, I think. Well, no, actually no. What language is that? Because there's a K. There's a K in your name. Oh yeah, maybe, yeah, no, that's right, that works. I'm confused. That's fine. All right. Who else is here? Ella's here, cool. Milenia is here. Muhabali, Jihan, Zada, Alex. It's in Peru. Weira is from Peru. Baltimore English from Sao Paulo. Wow, look at all the activity in the chat. Cool. Serene Gold is in Egypt. We got Arturo in Bogota, Colombia. Colombia, rather. Yeah. Okay. So, hi everybody. Good to see you. If you're new to the class, I am Shaun. I'm your teacher. And yes, thank you, Melina. Yeah, I realize that is Russian. I can fake a little bit of Russian. I can read a little bit. Vivian's here. Wow. Guatemala, Pakistan. Cool. All right. So I am in Vancouver, Canada, British Columbia, and it is 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm coming to you live from the Canadian College of English Language here in downtown Vancouver. And I'm realizing I've been doing this class for a long time, and I made a rookie mistake, a beginner mistake today when I decided to put this shirt on, because this is not a good shirt for the internet. It kind of looks a little crazy, right? You can't wear stripes. You can't wear stripes when you're streaming online. So my shirt is going to look like an illusion today, I think. Rookie mistake. All right, so it's good to see everybody. It's Friday here, as I said. I'm getting ready for the weekend, but it's not the weekend yet. And maybe you're watching this later. Maybe you're watching this in the future. Maybe it's a Monday or a Tuesday. Wherever you are, whenever you are, welcome to the class. Okay, so. Yeah, I don't. Alejandro, I don't think so. Nice try. All right, so this is an intermediate level class. All right, intermediate level. If you are a higher level, if you're lower, that's okay. Everyone is welcome to join the class. Okay. But this is intermediate level. So what we're going to talk about in class today, actually, a couple months ago, just over 2 months ago, I did a class on a very similar topic, but it was for a higher level class. So some of you may have seen this type of class before, all right? But as I said, this is for an intermediate level class. All right. Okay. You guys are funny. So let me jump in here. And of course, if you're new, just remember that what you can do is, if you have questions during the lesson, just put your questions in the chat. I will try my best to answer your questions as often as I can, as quickly as I can, as clearly as I can, okay? Voldemort is saying, I don't understand what intermediate is. That's okay. That's okay. Intermediate means kind of in the middle. Not advanced, but not beginner. You're right in the middle, which is a good place to focus, because a lot of intermediate students kind of sometimes they get kind of stuck at that level, and it's hard to get beyond it. Okay, or challenging, I should say. All right, so let's jump in here. Anybody who's in my class knows that we've been working on Unit 6 in Smrt. Okay, so Unit 6 is where we are going to continue. Okay, but I thought that because the theme of Unit 6 is sports, that is where we would begin. So I'm just going to jump into my little presentation here. Okay. So yeah, I said the theme is sports. So let's take a minute or two to talk about sports, whether or not you enjoy sports or hate them, because that's kind of the question is, do you enjoy watching sports? Do you enjoy playing sports? Do we have any sports fans in the house today? Right? Do you like to go to live sporting events? Or maybe you say you can't stand watching sports. Okay? So a couple questions that I want to talk about here, and then we're going to get into the lesson. I'm going to tell you why I'm asking you these questions. Steve Lynn is a sports fan, right? So some questions. The first question is, do you enjoy playing sports, right? If you're a sports fan, maybe that means you prefer to watch sports. And if you watch sports, do you like watching sports at home, or do you prefer watching sports live? Nora likes football. Yeah? French Leo enjoys American basketball. Okay. Vivek likes food, which I guess sometimes can be a type of sport, I guess. It depends on how you are eating. Yeah? So what sports do you play? Does anyone play any sports? I don't play many sports. I enjoy playing tennis, as some of you know. Rosa likes watching and playing tennis. Me too. I really enjoy watching tennis and playing tennis. I'm not very good, but I like it. Bushra is coming in saying hi. Hi. Alejandra knows where I'm going. I think you see where I'm heading with this. Yeah, Vivek, I know we know you like food, right? Okay, so Amit Roy loves cricket. Now, do you love watching cricket, or do you prefer to play cricket? Which one do you prefer? Alejandra enjoys running. Yeah, I think I like running from time to time too. What about sports? Does anyone here really not enjoy sports? Is there anybody who hates playing sports or watching sports? Yeah? All right. I can't really think of a sport that I hate. Well, I don't enjoy watching golf. Okay, I don't play golf, but I don't have any interest in watching people play golf. I think that's pretty boring. Aziz is saying she loves boxing. Cool. And basketball? Very cool. Serene Gold hates playing sports. Yeah? Yumna too, you hate it? Yeah. I mean, I don't hate many sports, as I said. There are some sports. I know that some of you might be angry, but I don't enjoy watching football, as in soccer. I don't understand it. To me, it often looks like just a bunch of guys walking around. But maybe that's because I'm used to watching hockey in Canada, which is maybe a little bit faster game. I don't know. Nandish likes to watch UFC. Cool. What about a sport that you have never tried? Because I was thinking about this today, because it snowed a little last night here in Vancouver. And I'm a terrible Canadian, all right, because I have never tried downhill skiing. I've never tried skiing before. I've never tried snowboarding before. Vivek likes the WWE. Rosa, make sure that's beaten your husband, not bitten, right? Bitten your husband means with your teeth, right? Don't bite your husband. Yeah. So, he's very good. If he's very good at tennis and you can't beat him, bite him. And then maybe you'll win. Arturo avoids watching curling. Yeah, curling I think is a very Canadian sport. Okay. So, do I like to climb? Not really. Not really. I don't really like to climb. I only like to climb if there's something really good at the top or something really bad at the bottom that I'm trying to get away from, right? That's the only time I will climb. Yeah? All right. So, why am I asking these questions? Today, we're not really going to be talking about sports. Now, some of you already know why I'm asking these questions, right? Voldemort says that you've never tried hockey. Never tried playing hockey? Yeah, it's a rough sport. Yeah? All right, so the reason I'm talking about this is because today we're going to continue looking at verb patterns. We're going to be looking at gerunds and infinitives and how they're different and how they're similar in some cases. Dahlia enjoys playing volleyball. Yumna's asking if I don't love sports. No, I don't love sports. I enjoy some sports, but I'm not a sports fanatic. I'm not crazy about sports like some people. I don't have a team. Okay, I don't have a hockey team that I care about. Okay, so verb patterns. Now, last week and the week before, we talked about gerunds, right? Remember that gerunds look like verbs because they've got the ing ending, but as we said, they are nouns, right? They function as nouns in the sentence. Ahmed likes chess. Yeah? I don't have the patience for chess. I'm too impatient to play chess. I make bad moves because I just want to get it over with. Okay? So last week we talked about gerunds, right? And specifically we talked about verb patterns with gerunds. We said these verbs are the verbs that are often followed by gerunds, right? There are a few that have these little stars next to them, the little asterisks, and I said that we would talk about that this week. Aaron, you're asking if I like playing esports. You mean like video games? Yeah, I'm not a video game guy either. That kind of passed over me. I'm not going to talk too much about video games because it'll give away my age if I talk about the type of video games that I liked to play when I was a kid. But no, I don't like. I mean, if that's what e-sport is that like e-sport? You mean video games? Jehan likes jumping. Okay. All right. So last week we said these verbs, my big hands there. These verbs are followed by gerunds. Edith is saying the audio comes and goes. Edith, that might be a problem with your audio. Okay, because I think it seems pretty clear on this end. Okay. If that's the case for everybody, let me know. All right. So, for example, she keeps asking me for the money I owe her. Which I guess she should. If I owe her the money, she should keep asking me for it. But as we said last week, a verb like keep is followed by the ing, not to. You can't say to keep. Nora is saying, then what do you like? Oh, you mean I don't like sports, I don't like video games? Yeah, I like teaching English, right? All right, so she keeps asking me for money. This is a verb pattern. Verb followed by gerund, okay? Another one, I can't imagine being away from you. Oh, wow, that's nice. Isn't that nice? Right? Last week we talked about this. Imagine, and then the gerund, right? Okay, and one more. Because again, we spoke about this last week. I like jazz. Is that about me, French Leo? I guess I like music. I like all kinds of music. We considered going to a ball game. So again, this is, I like mistakes. Yeah, I like watching people make mistakes. We considered going to a ball game, again, is the verb pattern. The verb consider followed by ing. Steve Lynn can imagine or can't imagine living without English. And Aziz, yeah, I can't answer the question if it's written in Russian. Remember that. I can read it. It says Ruski. Kto znает Ruski? Yeah, but I can't answer that question. I'd have to think about that. Are you saying, do you know Russian? Is that question? Я знаю. All right, anyway, enough of that. We consider going to the ball game, okay? So this is the first verb pattern that we talked about last week, okay? But today we're going to continue with verb patterns. DIY the Entertainer is saying, teach me English. Well, I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. And French Leo, you're right. I do enjoy jazz as well as other forms of music. DIY, I do like to. I'm teaching English right now. Okay, so verb plus infinitive, guys. This is what we're going to be focusing on today. Adriana has a question coming in. All these verbs always followed by a gerund? Well, that's a good question. Now, the list that I showed you are followed by gerunds always, except for the ones that had the little star next to it, okay? And we'll talk about that in a little bit, okay? So, verb plus infinitive. An infinitive, just so you know, just so we're clear, means to plus the base form of the verb, right? So, to go, to be, to take, to remember, these are infinitives, meaning they have to plus base form. Base form means the simplest form of the verb. No tense, no conjugation, no s or es or anything like that on there. That's the base form. So that's what we mean by infinitive, in case anyone wasn't clear about that. Okay? So, certain verbs are followed by infinitives. Now, let me show you some examples here. She hopes to go there again someday, right? Hopes to go. There's your infinitive, right? She hopes to go there again. I think this is Germany. Valia, you're delaying your free time? That's too bad. Amit, your question about gerunds and participles is really good, but we talked about that just last week. So a really good way to answer that question is to watch the video from last week, just so we don't have to talk about that again today. But that's a good question, okay? So she hopes to go there again someday. That's a verb pattern. I promise to be there for you, okay? That's a verb pattern with the infinitives. Now, I showed you a list before of verbs followed by gerunds. Here's a list of verbs followed by infinitives. Now let me just pop out there so you can see that promise, offer, promise, and would like are down here behind my big head. Okay. All right. Okay, so these verbs are often followed by infinitives. Aaron, how did you hurt your toe? Okay. Aziz is saying, I generally understand the gerund, I always get confused. Yeah, lots of people, it's a confusing thing because when it comes to this type of thing, the verb pattern, there's really no rules for it, right? There are no rules, not so much, other than you have to remember that these verbs are followed by infinitives. So let's talk about that for a second here. Let me pop out here. Let me go to my notes. And I'm going to go down here. So this is the same list that I just showed you, verbs that are followed by infinitives, right? So let me pick one. What would we say? So she, wow, that's really big. I don't want that bold there. Get rid of that. Make that a little bit smaller so it fits. So what can I say here? Well, give me a sentence with one of these verbs. I could say she decided to go to the party, right? So real simple. Again, you've got your verb decide followed by to go. Now, Bushra Issa, I know you're saying the picture is blurred. I think other people are saying it's okay, though. Melinda, do you have to learn them by heart? Unfortunately, yes, you do. I mean, as I've said before, it's not so much about just memorizing, because if you just memorize, you will forget them. It's about using them, right? It's about paying attention when you're reading the language, when you see the language or hear it, to see what words go with other words. Okay? Okay, so don't just memorize it. I mean, remember them and try to use them. Make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Right? Now, Vivek is saying she decided going to the party. No, you can't say that. That's my point. You can't say she decided going. Impossible. It has to be she decided to go. That's the verb pattern. Jerry's late. That's okay. You're not too late. All right, so that's one example. Here, let me put that up here so it all fits on one screen. Now why is that so tiny now? My goodness. Okay, let me give you another example, guys. Okay. What can I say? Say she. The students promised to do their homework, right? This is the verb pattern. Promise followed by to do. It can't be doing. It can't be doing. Marcelo, same thing. You guys are saying she decided going to the party. You can't say that. Can't do it. Okay? She pretended to be a witch. She chooses to go to the party. Yeah, that's good. You think you're going to make so many mistakes that my brain is going to explode? Well, let's see. Let's try that out. Okay? He promised to marry me. Good. Well, I hope he kept his promise. Okay? Now this is the standard verb pattern with infinitives. Okay? But just keep in mind, just like last week when we were talking about gerunds, you can use negative infinitives, right? So you can use not with the infinitive with some of these verbs, not all of them, because it just sounds weird. Marcelo, you telling me to relax? I'm perfectly relaxed. Don't worry about me. Okay, so let me show you an example. She decided, let me make this full screen here. She decided to go to the party. You can just as easily say she decided not to go to the party, right? Not to go to the party, because that is a decision that you can make, right? And in this verb pattern, the not goes before the infinitive. I promise not to cry to Santa. So Archie is saying infinitives always followed by a past verb. No, I wouldn't say that. Oh, you mean this? No, definitely not. Good question. This does not have to be past tense. No. I could say, for example, she might decide, good question, she might decide not to go to the party. So now, whoops, get rid of that. All right. So now I'm talking about a possible future. Yeah? Or I can say students promise, if I want to make a general statement. Students promise to do their homework, okay? As a present simple. So there's your negative infinitive there. And you can do that with other verbs too. I mean, like promise. He promised, what do I say? What did he promise? He promised not to tell my secret to anyone. Yeah? He promised not to tell my secret. That's nice of him. Or, how about one more? Learn, okay? So, my son, this is a true story, my son has to learn not to hit his brother, right? He's only 3. He's going to learn, but he has to learn not to. We might decide not to go to the club. Good. She intends to learn another language. These are good. She decided not to kill her boss. That's probably a good decision. I refuse to eat fast food. Yeah? Okay, no, this is good, guys. This is good. Okay, so just so we know we're on the right track here, let's agree to disagree. Aviv, good one. Nice. Very good, guys. So let's scroll down here and look at these. These are verb patterns here. So I've given you the verb promise, choose, refuse, plan, and expect. So what infinitive do I need to finish these sentences, right? Michael promised me last night, but my phone never rang. Now that's a bit of an easy one here. But how about this? I'm just going to give you 30 to 60 seconds, 1 minute, okay? I would like you just to finish these 5 sentences. Real simple. We're going to keep it simple. Finish these sentences with an infinitive. Happy song time. That's right. Okay. Finish each sentence with an infinitive, then we'll go over it together. Okay? I'm going to disappear here, but I'm still with you and watching. Go for it. All right, everybody. Good, good, good. Lots of good answers coming in on the chat. So let me scroll up. So this is above my head. Some interesting ones too, and it's possible that there are more than one answer, right, that could be accepted. I'm not sure what, Amit Roy, you're saying overlook, but make sure to put the letter next to it so I know which one you're talking about. So Michael promised, but the phone never rang. So most of you, yeah, Bushra got it, good. Who else got it up at the top here, probably? So many answers coming in. Good stuff. Alejandro got it. Good for you. Ella got it. Nice. Leo, good for you. Right, so, and Rosa, good. Milena as well. Cool. So I think I was saying to call, right? Michael promised to call me last night, but my phone never rang. Now somebody said, I think somebody said promised to marry me last night. Michael promised to marry me last night, but my phone never rang. Now, I guess maybe it might be a strange situation, but I guess it's possible. It's possible. I think more likely would be Michael promised to call me last night, but my phone never rang. Right? Good. Now, what about B? Why did you choose shorts today? Right? Now, it's important to point out, too, that in this sentence, you don't really need a verb there to understand the question, or the question, right? Why did you choose shorts today, right? Now you just think about the verb we usually wear with shorts. Zainab, good. Good, good. Yeah. Pius Marca? Peace? Pius? How do I say your name? But that's good. Good for you. Diari, you got it? All right. So, of course, why did you choose to wear shorts today, right? Why did you choose to wear shorts today? Now, an important thing to point out is that this question, let me copy that, and I'm going to put that right here. Oops. There we go. Get rid of that letter. This would be the same as why did you choose not to wear pants today, right? So we were talking about negative infinitives. Why did you choose not to wear pants today? Well, hopefully that person has shorts on, I would say, right? I hope. But why did you choose to wear shorts today, right? Nadia is saying to phone me. No, Michael promised. That's a good question, Nadia. Yeah. He promised to phone me last night. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, good one. So let's go back to A here and say to phone me. That's perfect. Yeah. Good. Now C is a tricky one, but it is a word that we talked about in class last week, right? She refused making the decision until next week. She said it needs to happen now. So if she is saying not to wait, but to do something now, what's the verb we're looking for? Now, some of you said here to wait, right? To wait. But that doesn't quite work because to wait making, that doesn't work, okay? Because wait, this is kind of a tricky one because it has two verb patterns together. Wait really can't be followed by a gerund, right? Usually wait is followed by the infinitive. Wait to make a decision, right? Now some of you who got this one, I saw it somewhere. French Leo got it, good for you. Yasmina, good. I think Rosa, you got it too, good, good. All right, so the word I was looking for is to postpone. Put off is fine. To postpone making the decision. Some of you said to delay making the decision. And some of you just said, I think Rosa just asked, put off. Right? She refused to postpone making the decision. Saying, why did Shaun choose not to wear a skirt today? Well, it's very cold, that's why. Okay, Vivek, yeah, you got it. Refuse to delay. Good for you. Ifra, you're late. That's okay. I'm glad to see you anyway. All right? This is good. Now, as I said, this is tricky because you've got a verb pattern here, right? Refused to postpone. But you also have a verb pattern here, which is a verb followed by a gerund. That's why this one is kind of tricky. Okay? All right. So what about D? I am planning Rodi Dawi. Yeah, you got it. Good for you. Well, shout out to you. I am planning to take time off from work in June. Now, that's not true for me, but it sounds like a good idea. Yasmina is saying, can we say not making? No. Oh, in C, no. You can't say to not making. No, impossible. Good question, but you can't do that. Okay, Rosa Casiero saying, I'm planning to have time off. I'm planning to have time off from work. That's okay too. You could say that. Good. All right, Vivek is saying the difference between she did not decide to go to the party, she decided not to go to the party. She did not decide to go to the party. Yeah, okay. That's a good question. I'll get to that in a minute, Vivek. That's a good one. In this one, I have been really busy and haven't had time to study for today's test. I expect not the most optimistic view, but some of you got it. Who's got it? I saw it somewhere. Aaron, you got it. Edith. Yeah, I expect to fail. Right? Oh, my head's in the way. There you go. To fail. Okay, so let's just answer Vivek's question there. Okay? So you said she, here, let me make that bigger. Okay, so she did not decide to go to the party. Is that your question? She decided not to go to the party. She did not decide to go to the party. Is that what you're, let me just check. She did not decide to go to the party. Well, the important thing to keep in mind is if you're saying the negative here, she did not decide, means that the decision is the negative, right? She did not decide. Maybe someone else decided for her, right? Or she simply did not decide one way or another. She is still kind of on the fence, right? Okay. More often than not, we would say she has not decided, right? Meaning she doesn't know. So she did not decide to go to the party. The negative here, right? This not makes decide negative. But if you put it here, that's meaning go is negative. So not decide or not go. That's the main difference. Okay? And that was Steve's question. Good. Good one, Steve. Okay? She did not decide to go to the party is a bit of a strange sentence because it sounds like you're saying someone else maybe made her go to the party. Right? Why did she decide to go to the party? She didn't decide to go to the party. Her boyfriend made her go or something. I don't know. Now I'm just spreading rumors. Okay? All right. So, good question. Let me get back into this because we've got more stuff to talk about and time is ticking away as usual. Let me go down here. There we go. So, what we need to talk about now Fariha is saying the video froze. We'll just refresh it, see what happens. Okay. What we have to talk about now is that sometimes the meaning of the verb pattern is important to look at. Okay, because sometimes certain verbs can be followed by an infinitive or a gerund, and they have the same meaning, right? Faria Angel's back. Oh, good. Okay. So let's look at verb plus infinitive or verb plus gerund that has the same meaning. Now these verbs begin, continue, hate, start, like, love, prefer. These words are followed, can be followed by gerunds or by infinitives. Okay? And if they are, generally speaking, the meaning is the same. It doesn't change. Okay? So, for example, I don't really like cooking, and I don't really like to cook. Like and cooking and like to cook, the meaning is the same. The meaning is the same. Ravi, let me be more specific what you didn't get. It's hard for me to follow in the chat exactly what part you didn't understand. Vivek is saying continue to go, continue going. Good. I like to speak English, I like speaking English. Right, it's the same, right? I hate cooking, I hate to cook. Typically, I love watching Shaun, I love to watch Shaun's classes, right? Exactly. Me too. I love to watch Shaun's classes. All right, so that's like. One other example. Oh, look at that. Besties, such good friends. Amit, begin loving someone or begin to love someone. Exactly. They continued to live together after university, right? They continued to live or they continued living together after university, right? So they were roomies, and after they graduated, they decided to continue to live together. Anthony's a little bit late. That's okay. Hi, Anthony. All right. Milena has a question. In the continuous tenses, we must use to do something. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So if you're putting continue in continuous or progressive, they are continuing. Yeah, it's much better. That's a good point. Melania said is that if the verb is in ing form here, present continuous, it's probably better to put it in the infinitive because it looks weird if you have two ings next to each other, right? I am continuing talking sounds weird, right? Good. Jihan is saying, use gestures and movements to remember difficult words and phrases. Learn with your ears. Okay. Yeah, good advice. Vivek is saying, I stopped smoking. These sentences say different meaning. Yes, good question, Vivek, and that's what we're going to talk about next, okay? So, as Vivek is asking, verb plus infinitive, verb plus gerund, right? Sometimes you can do both, but the meaning changes, right? And again, this is something that I taught in a higher level class about 2 months ago, but we're looking at, again, the intermediate level. So I'm going to talk about a few verbs that can be followed by infinitives and gerunds, but the meaning is totally different. Okay? So this, and Rosa, that's exactly right, and that's where we're going to start. Good for you. Remember and forget. Now these words, if they're followed by a gerund or infinitive, the meaning is very different, right? Remember plus a gerund means that the action, the gerund verb, that action is done, right? And the person has a memory of doing it. So you did something and you can look back and have a memory of it. Okay, so remember plus gerund is kind of looking back, right? For example, I remember playing on a beach when I was a boy. So if you're talking about childhood memories, memories in the past, right? You're going to use the gerund because you're looking back at something, right? The play, if you look at these two verbs, play happened first. Remember is later, so it's going back, okay? Alejandra remembers attending my class? Yeah, I hope so. I remember you attending my class too. Marcelo, your question there. I didn't like to go to the dentist. I didn't like going to the dentist. No, I think those are pretty much the same thing, Marcelo. I don't know. I would have to see kind of the context or where you got that info from. Good. I remember locking the door. It is open now. That's kind of a confusing example, Jerry, because did you lock it or not? Okay, that's kind of the tricky part. Beautiful memories, yeah. I have lots of beautiful memories. So this is the gerund with remember, and it's the same idea with forget plus the gerund, right? The action was done, you did it, that gerund, whatever this verb is, it was done. It happened, right? But the person does not have a memory of it. Okay, so it's the same as saying not remember. So he forgot sending a text last night. Okay, hopefully he was just very sleepy, right? He sent a text to someone, and in the morning he did not remember it, right? It's the same as saying he did not remember sending a text. Okay? Let's see some questions here. Vivek is talking about remember to play. Well, just hang on. Slow it down. Take a breath. We'll get there. Okay? But remember, with forget and remember, it's looking kind of backwards from the verb, right? So again, he sent the text, and later he forgot. So it's looking back, okay? That's a little bit different from the infinitive. Remember or forget plus infinitive looks forward, okay? It looks forward, meaning, for example, he forgot to set his alarm clock, okay? So in this case, you're talking about, often talking about something that, in this case with forget, he did not set the alarm clock, right? He forgot to. So first he forgot, so he did not set. Okay, so the action was not done. I forgot to send a text last night, Anthony is saying. Right. Right. So again, this is the important difference. Okay. I'm going to take all of this away here. I'm going to say she forgot sending, or she forgot to send. The difference is, in the first one, she sent the message. So she forgot sending the text. She forgot to send the text. In this second one here, she did not send it. Okay? Up top, she did send it. That's a major difference. Good one. Good examples here in the chat. This is nice. Good. So that's the difference between remember and forget. Okay? So remember to think about the meaning next time you use a verb pattern. Do I have another example? Okay, so stop. Yeah, no, French Leo's asking, there's more. Yeah, so this is remember. Shaun forgot teaching the students? Yeah, maybe. That happens sometimes, right? Maybe I teach you something twice, and you say, Shaun, you taught us that last week, right? And I say, oh, sorry, I forgot teaching you about this, right? Okay, so stop. Not you. You can continue, but this word, again, is different. Stop plus gerund means the action, this action, finishes or ends. And Amit Roy, no, you need the infinitive there. I forgot to see, or I forgot seeing. Okay, Adam Stone is saying, I stopped to smoke, and I stopped smoking. Yeah, that's different. Jihan is saying, I can't make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I am just one big walking mistake. That sounds worse. It is. Yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, so stop plus gerund is the action is finished. Let me show you. She stopped studying around 9 o'clock. So in this sentence, studying, right, is finished. It's over. It's done. And it's the same with these examples. Look at all these. We stopped watching the game because it was boring. So we're not watching the game. It's over. You should stop worrying about what other people think and do. That's good advice, by the way, right? So I'm telling you, don't worry. Stop, right? Finish it. Now, yeah, so that's a tricky one too, because sometimes you can remember doing something, but it actually didn't happen, right? So that's a good point, but that's a bad thing. Maybe that's why you need to take those pills, so you remember, right? Suede's here. Yeah, she fell asleep, right? Good. So in these sentences, right, we're not watching the game. You're not worrying. This is finished. That's stop plus gerund, right? Stop plus infinitive focuses on the reason for stopping, right? So the question is, why did you stop? Why did he stop, right? Why did she stop? We stop, right? That's the reason. So stop plus infinitive focuses on the reason for stop, like this. She stopped. Whoa, that was weird. What happened there? She stopped to take a break from studying, right? So why did she stop studying? Well, she stopped in order to take a break. Memory pills. Right, Louise is saying infinitive of purpose. That's exactly right. Yeah, good one. The infinitive of purpose. She stopped in order to take a break. That's why. And it's the same with these examples. We stopped to take some photos. We stopped to take some photos. Let's stop to get something to eat. I stopped to chat with my friend. In this case, these infinitives give the reason for stopping. Now, you don't always know what you were doing, but we stopped to take some photos. You were probably walking, right? Sightseeing, maybe. Or driving. Let's stop to get something to eat. Maybe you're working. I stopped to chat with my friend. Maybe you're walking to work or something. Right, Walid, and now Walid is kind of combining them, right? I stopped watching TV to attend the class, right? Now you've got both in there. Perfect. Good one. All right, so one more thing I think I'm going to show you. Oh my goodness, we're running out of time, but that's okay. So try. I will try to teach you everything I need to teach you today. Now this one's a good one. Now try plus gerund. Try plus gerund means to experiment with something, to do something for the first time, right? To do something to see if it works, to try something to see if it works or solves a problem, right? If you have a problem, you want to try different things, right, and see what happens. Yasmina's saying, I tried to speak French. Good, okay. And we'll come to that one with the infinitive. Roddy Dawa, you stopped all your plans to attend my class? Well, that's nice. He stopped to boast about himself. Now, another example of how you guys put sentences in the chat, and it makes me wonder if you're talking about me, right? I don't know. Or maybe I'm just too sensitive. Okay. So let me show you some examples. He tried skiing this weekend. So in this sentence, you've got try and gerund. It means first time, right? You did something for the first time. Rose is saying, why do we say don't try to memorize everything? Well, that's about attempting to do it, to see if it's possible, right? So again, with the gerund, Rosa, the try is more about seeing what will happen. It's doing something to see what will happen from there. Okay, I'll try to make that a little bit more clear. Stop being sensitive? Okay, I'll try. I'll try to get a thicker skin here, yeah? I will, yeah, see, I will try. I will try to be less sensitive. Okay, so he tried skiing this weekend is a new experiment, right? Or a new experience, rather. Just like at the beginning of class, I said, I have never tried skiing or snowboarding. I'm a bad Canadian. Luis, I don't know about saying real activities. I don't know if that's the clearest way to explain it. Now look at this. She tried restarting her computer, but it was still acting funny. So if you have computer problems, you can try many different things to fix it, right? So you're going to use the gerund because you want to do something to see what will happen, right? She tried restarting her computer. She tried shaking it, right? I don't know what you do. That's what I do. If my computer is not working, I try shaking it, right? I try hitting it. I try prayer, whatever will work, right? Marcelo is saying, try taking an aspirin. Right, exactly. You have a headache. What should you do? Try taking an aspirin. Try lying down. Good. Now, Muhib Ali, I would say, I tried to solve your problems, okay? Now, I'll tell you why. Now, again, in this case, you're doing something in order to see if that solves a different problem, okay? So let's look at the difference. The try plus infinitive, you're making an effort to do something, okay? But that effort is usually unsuccessful. If you're saying try plus infinitive, the point is usually you can't do it, okay? So he tried to ski down the steep hill. He tried to ski down the steep hill means he could not do it. He tried but could not. Right? Again, this example that you guys are saying, I tried to solve other people's problems, you can't solve all of it, someone's problems. It's impossible. So you would use the infinitive. I tried to solve all of her problems. Right? She tried to wake up early on the weekend to go to the gym. She failed, right? She slept in. I tried to wake up early. I tried to wake up early, but I can't. Walid tries to learn English, right? Alejandra tries to eat less. Yeah, right, it's not easy. I'm trying to eat less too. Okay, right. Well, I don't know what this one is. There's no sentence here. What could she be trying to do? I don't know. She is trying She is trying to look away from the screen. I don't know what's on the computer. She's trying not to look, but she can't help herself. Okay. Or she's trying not to read about American politics, maybe. She's trying not to read about politics. Okay. And that's the main difference. All right. Now, I had practice exercises for you guys, but we don't really have time for that. So I'm going to give that to you for homework, right? And we're going to move on to the mistake of the week because our time is almost up. I tried to lead from the front. That's good. Now again, Adam Stone. Make sure don't put the infinitive and the gerund together like that. Not tries to rising, but tries to rise. Alejandro's saying she's trying to ignore her email. Good. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some homework for students in the class. I'm going to say, I want you to do exercises from 6-2 verb patterns. Okay? Go into that exercise. All right. And for homework this week, I want you to do part 1. And you did. Do part 2 as well. Part 1 and part 2 of this for homework. I'll put that on the blog so you can see it. All right, so you guys ready? You ready for the mistake of the week? Are you going to try to be the fastest person on the internet? Are you going to try? Right? Because it is time for mistake of the week. Not mistake of the week, but mistake of the week. Okay. Louise says she tried not to believe what she had seen on her husband's computer. Wow. Yeah, right. No, that's a good that's a good example. Yeah. I don't want to know. I'm trying not to think about what's on her husband's computer. All right, so anybody who's new to the class, this is how it works. No, you're late. That's okay. You're in time for the mistake of the week. I am going to put a sentence on the screen, and I want you to find me the mistake as fast as you can. I'm going to put the music on, and I'm going to give you about 10 seconds. All right? I'm going to drink some coffee. I need some coffee. So here's the sentence. Find me the mistake. All right? Go for it. All right. One more drink of coffee here. Yeah, good. Now, some of you got it, and some of you fell for my traps. I like to set little traps and tricks for you guys. Now, we've been talking about verb patterns. So in this sentence, I made sure to put a verb pattern right here. I'm trying to decide. right? I'm trying to decide on a plan. Now again, in this case, this probably means that I have not decided yet. It's hard for me to decide, right? I'm trying to decide on a plan. Now some of you thought the problem was decide, but that's perfectly fine to say try to decide. Some of you thought that on was the mistake, but that's fine too. That's a dependent preposition. So we often follow decide with on. Have you decided on something, right? Have you decided on a color for your living room or something like that, right? Have you decided on a university that you'd like to attend, okay? But of course, some of you I cannot trick, I cannot fool you. You see right through me and my tricks, all right? And today, the fastest person on the internet was Suede, followed by Victor, and then Melinda. Sayak came in under there, Melena after that, Gabriella, good for you, Gabriella. And then Diari and on and on. Waleed got it too, good for you. Rosa, French Leo, awesome. Yeah, good work, everybody. Awesome, because the problem is, what should I do? This is a very, very common mistake that students make. Even higher level students. I hear my higher level students say that. And you're saying for a plan? No, you don't decide for something. Don't decide for a plan. Marcelo got it too. Good for you. And Anthony, same. You don't say I tried to decide for a plan. You decide on. And you can't, some of you are trying to take on away and just say decide a plan, but you can't. You can't do that. You need that preposition there. Okay? It's important. You can choose an object. You can say I chose. Choose a plan is kind of strange, but you can make a plan, but you can't decide a plan. Okay? Milena, just to be clear, you're saying may a native speaker say that? This one, I don't know what should I do? Or are you talking about this part up here? Can you just clarify? Because if you mean does a native speaker say this? No, definitely not. Okay? This is a common mistake because students get question word order kind of stuck in your head, and then you use it in places where you shouldn't, right? So what should I do is a great question, right? What should I do? But in this sentence, that's not a question, right? What should I do should be what I should do, because it's not a question. This is a noun clause, right? This what I should do kind of complements this verb, right? Or this is actually the object of this verb. I don't know the answer. I don't know him. I don't know Shaun. I don't know what I should do. Vivek failed to get the answer. Milena, you heard this from one native speaker saying, I don't know what should I do? Boo. Wow. Well, guys, I mean, to be perfectly honest, a lot of native speakers speak English terribly, right? I mean, that is the truth, is that, and I'm sure it's the same in your language, that a lot of people in your language make mistakes in the language, but it is still a mistake. This one, and I know that sometimes we talk about how the language changes and things become okay over time. This one is not okay. Not yet, anyway. Maybe in 50 to 100 years, but not yet. Adriana, you're trying to spot the mistake of the week, but you don't know what you should, but I don't know what I should do. Okay. All right. Yeah, good one. Okay. Rosa saying, what should I do to win the mistake of the week? What can I do? What shall I do? What's the difference? What should I do? What can I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? That's a good question, Rosa, but I mean, in this context, is basically the same thing. What shall I do sounds more like you're trying to make a decision. What should is advice, And what can is about possibility. I mean, it's really that as basic as that. But what can I do and what should I do? In this context, Rosa, it's very similar. Mark, I don't know what you are trying to explain with that. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay? But again, you can't say what should I do if it's not a question. You've got to flip it around. And that is about noun clauses and question order, which is something that we can talk about in a future class. Vivek, there's hope. Yeah, try not to hurt yourself. Okay? Yeah, don't get so worked up. But, guys, it is time for me to pop out. Okay? So, sadly, it is time to go. We can try to deny it. We can try to delay it. But it is inevitable. It will happen. It's time for me to go and do some more work here at the Canadian College of English Language. Friday's a busy day. I get to take pictures with the students who are leaving the school. They graduate, and they get a picture with me. How lucky. Okay. But as always, it's a pleasure to pop in here for this short amount of time and teach you guys. It's always a highlight of my work week. Hang on. Wanted to clear my throat without coughing into your ear. Lots of thanks coming in. Chima, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And again, you thank me, and I said it last week. I'll say it again. Thank you for watching, because it's you that makes this a class, okay? Thank you for not making me a crazy guy talking to myself, okay? So thank you for coming. Tell everybody about us. Join the Facebook group if you haven't. I know, again, I keep saying this, it's been really busy for me, so I haven't been on the group as much as I want to, but I will try to answer more questions on Facebook, okay? And keep watching the other classes, right? You got Neil, Abby, Josh, and I'll see you here next week, next Friday, same time, same place, all right? And keep practicing your English. Keep working on it. Make mistakes. Yeah, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Yeah, try to use these verb patterns, make mistakes, and learn from the mistakes, all right? And then I'll see you here next time, guys, okay? So until then, have a good weekend or week or night or whatever it is. I hope it's good for you, okay? See you later. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smrt Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.